How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech, and today we're going to be going on over the Motorola G Power 2024. 5 months later, we're going to be talking about how this phone is held up, and overall, pretty nice little phone for under $200. You can't go wrong. If you need a, nice, solid, just plain old basic device, this is it for you. It'll get everything done. Decent cameras, pretty good performance on here, nice big beautiful display, and stereo speakers. So we're going to be going on over to Moto G Power 2024 5 months later. Let's go. Alright, so the Moto G Power 2024 has been out for a little over 5 months now, and we're going to be going on over how this device has held up. And I have to say, I'm pretty surprised for this sub $200 device and how it's held up as far as performance, and even the cameras. While not being the best at both, this device will still get you through. And if you need a nice reliable smartphone that is cheap and won't break the bank, the Moto G Power might be just for you. So before we get started, thank you guys for joining me here on Sick Eric Tech. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. And click that bell icon, that way you don't miss out on future videos and you get notifications when I release those videos. So as far as the size goes, this is a pretty big device, as you can see right here, almost coming in as big as the Moto Edge 2024. Definitely a lot bigger. As far as the build quality, I think I like the Edge build quality better. It just feels more premium in the hand rather than the eco leather over here. Even though they're both eco leather, for some reason this one just feels a lot more premium. Obviously it's a little bit more of an expensive phone, but this one, especially with that plastic going around the cameras right here, doesn't look and feel as premium as this one. But again, like I said, sub $200 smartphone. It still feels pretty good in the hand, pretty light, coming in at about 7.9 ounces, 6.58 inches tall, 3.01 inches wide, and 0.33 inches thin. It does have a water repellent design, so not IP rated on here, but as long as you don't go swimming with this or drop it in any water, it will handle just a little bit of a sprinkle if you get caught in the rain, but of course not the soak in rain, because then this phone would probably get ruined. Going on over to the display, it does have a 6.7-inch IPS LCD display. It does support 120 Hertz, 1080 by 2400, has a PPI of 393, and even though I don't like LCD displays, this one is actually quite nice. It gets bright enough for most uses. The bezels are a little chunky. You get a pretty thick chin at the bottom and a little bit of a forehead. Side bezels aren't too bad, but again, like I said, this is a sub $200 phone. The display is actually quite nice, really nice colors. I actually do like it, even though it's LCD. And yeah, you do get that hole punch cutout up top. You do get a little bit of a haze around it, but it's not too bad. And the viewing angles are actually okay on this device. Not the best, but they will get the job done. For right now, this is running Android 14. You get the MediaTek Dimensity 7020 chipset, 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage. That is expandable through micro SD, so that is really good. You can expand your storage further on here. Performance on here has actually been okay. There are some little bit of lags here and there when you're opening up apps, and this is the little jitter right there with the camera. They do not open up as quick as other devices. It does take a little bit to open up apps, and when you're doing stuff like going into your menu and things, you do get a little bit of a stutter here and there. This is going to do everything they need it to do. 8 GB of RAM is honestly, it's pretty much plenty of RAM for most people. You're still able to open up apps, go on the web, search social media, and open up your camera and do stuff. While the camera, switching through the modes isn't exactly the smoothest thing. It's okay, but it's not going to be the best. And of course, you get all your other modes right there for your camera. But going on over to the camera, You do get a 50 megapixel main sensor with an aperture of f1.8. Does support optical image stabilization. While not being the best, it's still there. You do have PDAF autofocus, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, f2.2 does have autofocus, so you get some nice macro shots using that ultra wide. You can only record up to 1080p 30 frames per second though. That is the downside. And when you're recording video, it is using EIS, so it's not using the OIS when you're taking pictures. Say with the 50, when you're recording video, it switches on over to EIS for some reason. Maybe that's why the video is quite shaky. Even when you're standing still, it is hard to take solid video on this device. Front facing camera, 16 megapixel, aperture of f2.4, and again 1080p on the front and on the back. So as far as picture quality, pictures come out great on the Moto G Power 2024. Is just the video is absolutely horrible when it comes down to stabilization. While they have OIS on the photos but not on video, which is, I don't know why they did that, it is crazy. But using this to take normal shots, great, it will get the job done. But when you're taking video, it is going to be shaky. Even if you're standing still, you're going to get very shaky video. The quality looks pretty good, but the stabilization is just not there. But photos really surprised me on the Moto G Power. The detail is there. You're able to get some nice macro shots. The ultra wide actually does a pretty good job. Nighttime photos come out pretty good for the price point, so I'm not complaining about the camera system considering how much this phone costs. You do get stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos action, so that was a nice surprise. You also do get a headphone jack, which is really nice if you want to connect this to your car. Auxiliary power, you know, a nice pair of headphones. You are able to do that on the Moto G Power. So the stereo speakers, let's go ahead and take a listen. That way you guys can get an idea of how this device sounds. Alright, so what you guys think of the audio quality? I think the speakers sound pretty good at this price point. You also do get Dolby Atmos, so you are able to customize your stereo speakers and your audio on here, which is really good. And a lot of smartphones at this price point don't really give you that option. You got Bluetooth 5.3 on here, and connectivity has been pretty much awesome. The Bluetooth quality when listening to headphones or earbuds and things like that, or connect it to your car, it gets pretty loud, you know, for me. A lot of people have said that the Bluetooth quality is kind of low, or the volume. I think it's fine. It sounds really good. I've always liked Motorola devices and their Bluetooth audio. They always sound really good for some reason. They're loud, so no issues here with Bluetooth connectivity. You need to get your side-mounted fingerprint sensor, and it's pretty quick for the most part. You can see right there, not the fastest in the world. You also do get facial recognition on here, so that's really nice. So if you don't want to unlock it using your fingerprint, you can unlock it using your face. Of course, fingerprint is going to be a little bit more secure. You do get all your nice Motorola gestures on here, and your customization with personalize. You could personalize your theme, your colors, your themes, your icons, which is really nice. You get all of your gestures, your karate chop for your flashlight, of course, classic Moto gestures. You get a whole bunch of stuff on your quick launch, sidebar, quick capture, screenshot, swipe your finger down for 3 screenshots. You get your flip for do not disturb, pick up the silence. You get a lot of stuff on here. I really do like Motorola phones for including all of this. You could customize your display, your lock screen, your clocks, really nice, and really nice to customize on here. So definitely have all of that here on the Moto G Power. As far as software goes, it's not going to be the newest form of Motorola software. You do get that on the Moto Edge, which you can tell a difference. Things do look a little bit different on the Moto Edge when it comes down to the software, but hopefully you do get an update on this one to make it look a little bit more like your premium devices. You get a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 30-watt wire charging. Unfortunately, you do not get a charger in the box, and 15-watt wireless charging, which was definitely a surprise for me when it comes down to this device. At this price point, I was not expecting wireless charging, and that's pretty good. Pixel 9 has the same 15-watt wireless charging. I think it's maybe even less, but at this price point, that's pretty good to have wireless charging on here. And battery life actually is really nice on here. That's one of the perks of Motorola devices, to have really good battery life. This will get you through an entire day, and then you could charge it when you're going to sleep. So no issues with battery life. The only thing I would say is, like I said, no charger included in the box. So as far as the 5 months of using this on and off, I think the Moto G Power is worth it. A lot of people are commenting on all my videos saying that they love this phone. They were able to get it for like under $100, depending on carriers and where they got it from, or things like that. And they're loving it, especially if you're able to get this for under $100. That is $100 for this smartphone, which is insane. This will get the job done. If you're your basic user, you don't want anything flashy, you don't want to break the bank, and you don't care about everything like the Galaxy Ultras and your iPhone, Maxes and things like that, this device will do you just fine. It's basic, gets the job done, it's reliable. That's all you need in a smartphone, is something to get the job done. You need it to do what you want it to do, nothing else serious. This device may be for you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this 5-month later review of the Moto G Power 2024. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and I will see you next time here on Sick Eric Tech. Peace.